because it also helps us in recruiting as well.
Absolutely. And Coach, we mentioned that. You mentioned two things on that. Earlier, I said that, fully funding athletics is part of it and that you were doing a phenomenal job. And most people wouldn't understand why that would necessarily be said because they're only looking at the W's and the L's and at the end of the game.
Right.
But with the VShow and the VClub, our goal is to fully fund athletics. And so, not going too much into detail on my end, I want you to elaborate what it would be like for you to have a full allotment of scholarships as you are recruiting, our future Delta Devils.
It would help us tremendously. I mean, we will be able to. Well, I will be able to. Myself and my staff will be able to really build this football program. When you're limited funding, it's hard to build a team with that young group of freshmen that you want in your system 3 to 4 years. It's okay to go out and get transfers. It's okay to get graduate players, but you really want to be able to build a program, and a program starts with homegrown kids, and not just saying Mississippi kids, but kids that can really establish themselves in your program as freshmen and then be developed and then be able to play as a sophomore or a junior because they understand the scheme. So being fully funded where you have 63 scholarships and you got room to make an error when you recruit. But when you're not fully funded, it's hard to make an error. Everything has to hit on the right piece. You can't miss when you're not fully funded. And you don't have a lot of depth when you're not fully funded because some of those guys that you're going to are really just walk-on players that needs to be really, really developed. So being fully funded helps a program tremendously, and I think you see that throughout college football, throughout the whole college football. Those three years in a program, man, you should be right there. You should be that championship program where you're fully funded in your third year because you was able to build your program the way you wanted to build it and not be able to just piece it together when you don't have enough to build. You just have to go out and piece the program together.
And see, that was one of the.
Oh, there you go. Look,
what's happening.
Hey, not only were y'all teammates, y'all shared backfields together. From what I heard, sleeping bunks, sleeping bags, rooms I'm just saying, seats on the bus when it was just a flat one row. Is that how it all went down?
It all went down just like you explained it.
Okay. So y'all shared tuna sandwiches and peanut butter jelly too.
But he was my barber as well.
Yeah.
So he's the reason you bald headed.
Man. No, I had a lot of hair. I had hair.
Look,
he had hair. He did have a lot of hair.
Look, bro. So you used to tool him and shape him up. He don't have none. He got my hair cut, and you still got yours though.
Hey, you know what? I tell you what, I use that experience from college to do my own hair. Now I don't have to go to the barber shop. So, but you know what? I just try to keep a little bit on there. I'm not ready yet to have the shiny.
You don't want to let it go?
I'm not
You don't want to let it go?
Hey, I'm not ready.
Listen to me. You will feel better when you come to the other side. Because, see, it's real hard to keep lining it up because it keep backing up. You know what I mean? So when you go on and just drop it, you'll feel better about yourself. Hey, it's going to be a lot colder. But at the same time, you ain't got to worry about haircuts no more.
Your head toughens up the longer you be bald.
I get it low enough. I think I'm close. I'm close. Trust me.
So you're on the half already.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, we have depth
this year.
Devilettes, yes, we have depth, and last year we didn't. And I think COVID affected a lot of teams, more so some than others. Mm-hmm. And I had 6 players that entered the portal, which made us have a team of 7 with a walk-on, which made 8. So that was difficult when there's no depth. When some of your main players enter the portal, that is difficult. So this year we have depth. Size has been a factor. It's always difficult at times to get a 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". Everyone needs those type of kids. And since I've been here, we have not had a solid kid over 6'1". Well, we have 2 6-footers. We have a freshman and we have a 5th-year transfer. And we're excited about that. I am transparent and honest. We lost. It's great. We lost out on one, but that's what happened. So the one we lost out on, she was another 6'1", 6'2" kid. Now we have 3, but we have 2, and we're going to make it do what we can with those two, but we have depth at the point guard spot. We have depth at the guard spot, and we finally have inside presence that we have not had since I've been here, honestly.
Well, that should be exciting, especially looking forward. You mentioned stuff about depth, and you know I'm huge on, or people that know that I'm huge on basically being fully funded so we can have the same kind of roster and the same kind of depth of the competition that we're playing. And so, you know, I always talk about what Coach Dancy is doing is amazing, because when he brings in the subs, a lot of the time that kid is a walk-on playing, you know, because he just loves the game and loves Valley. How many scholarships are you operating on right now? Because I misunderstood some things, and I was under the impression that our ladies basketball team was fully funded, but I had a rude awakening. So can you tell me how many scholarships we have?
This year, going into my 5th year, I was able to sign 15 players.
Okay.
So this year, year 5 for me, I was given the opportunity to sign 15. Now we sit at 14. And again, like I said, I lost a kid, and we're still looking to hopefully bring a kid in during the Christmas break. But in the past, we have not been fully funded. And right now, I was able to sign 15, excuse me. So I am happy that I had the opportunity this year to be able to sign 15 players.
Man, that is awesome. So all of what others may see, I see passion, man. And I'm just being real with you. And after our conversations, we want the same thing. We want to see our university on top, man.
Right.
I know you do.
Right.
You know, go ahead, brother.
Go ahead, finish up. Go ahead, finish.
Oh, no, I was just saying, because in the end, the university has shaped us, you know. So people know about me as far as anybody that follows the show. But, you know, typically everything we've been doing is sports related. So I'm finna jump outside the box a little bit. They don't know how many followers you have. I want you to tell them a little bit about your experiences at Valley, and then tell them what you do now and who you are now.
Okay, so people have to understand that, man, that school, that environment, that institution is the only family I had for like the past 15 years. Like I wasn't even going home on, you know, weekends because I didn't have a stable family to go home to. So that's why, you know, I was around the institution so long. But all the things that I created with my team, you know, at Valley, you know what I'm saying, is what, you know, I'm getting paid to do now, you know, professionally. And we have generated over almost 4 million followers, me and iPod. iPod also alumni, you know, we went to Mississippi Valley, one of the biggest DJs in probably the nation, you know. Definitely probably the hottest DJ in Mississippi. But man, we was at the school when it was at its peak, when Dr. Newman had, you know, the enrollment up. I marched in the band at Valley, temporarily tried to play football a little bit. I was drum major at Valley from the year 2005 all the way to 2000 and I want to say 8 or 9. I can't exactly remember. And I was percussion section leader in 2005. I also helped started the spirit group, the Hellraisers, which was a very, you know, interesting, you know, culture, man, that we had. We used to get kicked out of all the games because, you know, we used to take it overboard. But, you know, and the swag is very hostile, so, you know, you needed that. But I saw so much, man. I experienced so much throughout them 15 years of being around Valley, bro. Like from administration changes repeatedly, you know, from the school about to be merged, you know, with Alcorn and Jackson. We went down to the Capitol, fought for the school to stay open. Man, from the switch of band directors, football coaches, the list goes on. You know, and it just really, you know, if you really love something that you're a part of course you're gonna be passionate about it. If you're not, then you're just a person who just don't care, you know. So our action expressed the love that we had for the institution, and people just didn't, you know, they couldn't comprehend with our expression.
Right. And see, I understand that. I get it. And see, I know that plight. You and I have had many conversations.
Right.
And so to me, it's important that because see, the you got 4 and some change. I probably got 4 and some change total. But the viewership is actually, different per se. For the people who will watch this as compared to who will follow you on maybe your TikToks or your Instagrams. But what I'm getting at is they need to understand why Valley means so much to you. And it's not just an old head thing. First of all, our university is not that old. Let's get this. Correct. But on the flip side of it, man, we have passion about the place too. Speaking a little bit for me, when you leaving a junior college out on the West Coast in Pasadena and all you see is cotton fields and bootleg whiskey as far as you can see, it's a culture shock. But the one thing that was consistent was love. And that was from the administrators. That was from, man, I don't even remember people fighting on campus. Like, it was all love. You know what I mean? And if it was a family kind of scuffle deal. It wasn't no, we finna thug it in the streets kind of deal, man. And so you have grown. Congratulations on your platform, brother. I often joke about you being famous, Amos, and you more famous than the people's song that you made famous.
Right.
Who performs that song, by the way?
Actually, my boy Level and Mouse. Mouse is known for all the Trill Entertainment boosted days.
Gotcha.
Productions or whatever. So he produced a lot of them hits, a whole lot.
And see that song was so catchy, man. And then to see you, I remember the first one I saw. I was actually working. I want to say this was either when I was leaving Callaway or at Mississippi State, and they had you on Highway 82.
Oh,
I couldn't stop laughing.
Yes, sir.
This dude is a 100% clown.
Yes, sir.
That clowning has taken you other places, other schools. Tell our viewers about some of the stuff that you've done at other institutions and environments you've been in.
So man, I have toured just about every PWI, every HBCU. I get booked for Black colleges more than anything. Right. And I actually had a TV show with BET. We were doing a college tour called the HBCU Tailgate Turn-Up, where we go to all the homecomings and show the people how homecoming is at those certain schools.
Right.
And Valley was the first school I chose. Matter of fact, on that TV series, BET gave me the all control. What schools you want to go to, and I chose my institution to be the first one. But man, the SWAC, the MEAC, the SEAC, the SEC, the Big Ten, bro, I didn't did it all.
And Pat, you touched on a great thing, that there's so many opportunities in athletics and sports outside of the playing field.
Right.
And a lot of times we're not exposed to those opportunities. I mean, nobody thought about, a lot of athletes don't think about being officials. They don't think about being athletic directors. They don't think about being marketing people. They don't think about the being behind the scenes in operations. There's an abundance of opportunities outside of playing. I mean, I know we all grew up wanting to be professional athletes. That's the dream.
Right.
But if you prepare yourself, if you get your degree, you apply yourself, there are a number of opportunities off the playing field that young men and young women can have successful careers at. And so I encourage the young people who may be watching this podcast or maybe watching this production to explore some of the opportunities. I mean, because you don't make it as a professional athlete, there are other avenues that you can affect change outside of being on the field. So as an athlete.
Man, and that's important for other people to know. And then here's the, with you being an SEC official, you have been around, just from experience, have been around some amazing environments. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the ones that was most memorable? Now, I got one because I sent you a video of it a little while back. You had a controversial call. Tell us about some of those moments that you've been in athletic environments you've been around as an SEC official.
Well, as an SEC official, I mean, there were a number of opportunities. I mean, because every football game in the SEC, there's an opportunity to have something spectacular to happen. I mean, athletes are tremendous athletes, but probably the one that really stands out with me the most is we were down at Auburn. Auburn was playing LSU, and I can't remember the year. It might have been 2016, 2017. And it went down to the wire. LSU was driving with just a few seconds left in the football game. They threw a pass, scored a touchdown, and it appeared that they won the football game. Well, with the at the advent of replay took a look at it and determined that LSU did not get the snap off prior to the clock expiring. And so I had the task of going on national TV and announcing that, after further review, it was determined that LSU did not get the snap off prior to the clock expiring. The touchdown is no good. Therefore, Auburn wins the football game. And so that was really one of the memorable moments that I had.
I'm surprised Coach O would take his shirt off and throw it at you.
Well, at that point, it was Coach Myers, unfortunately.
Okay, that was Coach Myers.
And again, unfortunately, that happened to be Coach Myers' last game at LSU. But that was a memorable situation. I mean, it was one of those situations where it was a tight football game, and you had to bite the dust, and I had to step out and make the announcement. It is what it is, So,
and it's amazing that how electric that environment was, even when folks are watching on TV. And it's hard to describe, but it's so much that goes into a game day environment. And I know that's something that we'll touch on next week with our guests. But because the band plays a big part of that, but also you got DJs, you got lighting, you got what they call activations in between, timeouts and different things, award ceremonies. And it's so much that, right. It's so much that we can do to enhance ours, whether that's with a digital video board or executive style seating. You told us about your time at Valley, and you told us a little bit about the things you've done in your career. Let's talk about what Valley means to you and some of the things that you're doing with the VClub to assist us in moving forward and being that catalyst for change.
Absolutely. Well, without Valley, without a doubt, I wouldn't be where I am today. I was fortunate enough to obtain a degree in business administration. I was able to work in my field with the city of Atlanta for over 20 years. I headed up the Office of Contract Compliance for the city of Atlanta, which ensures that minority, women, and female-owned firms have an opportunity to participate on contracts, construction or professional services contracts with the city of Atlanta, and make sure that we bolster the economic status of minority and women-owned companies.
Let me tell you something. Back then, we had sidekicks, so that takes you back. That's what it was.
All
we were saying was new message. And that's how. That's what we had back then. So you just imagine what we was with. But when we went to Hawaii in 2006, people think that the university paid for everything, but our parents were so supportive. We raised about 17,000, but this was a crazy thing. We took 24 players, and I think we wound up having like two assistants, one head, SID trainer. I mean, we took a lot of people. We wound up taking about 27, 28 people somewhere in there, and just everybody. But the crazy part about it, we had 15 sets of parents to go. So when we got to Hawaii, we was like an entourage.
And so you had a true fan section.
Yeah, we had a true fan section. We go to the games, they put your games out, we go play. Man, we had a whole fan. Everybody looking like, where are all those people from? But the thing about it is we was winning, but we was giving kids a great opportunity to see the world. You got to remember one thing. At that time, we didn't have nobody no further than maybe Atlanta, Georgia. And I think we had, I know we had one kid from Canada. I don't think Nicole played that year, but that's basically what we had. We didn't have a lot of the California kids, few Texas kids, but we didn't have, everybody was pretty much from Mississippi. At that time, we always had the biggest roster from Mississippi, bigger than state. We was loaded with the Mississippi kids, and we had kids from the Delta. So it was an opportunity, pretty much Arkansas, Mississippi. That was it. Few Georgia, this and that. That was our squad, from that standpoint. And we took a lot of people, but it was enjoyable though. But like I say, we did some great things. We was going to Oregon. We went to Oregon State up there for a week, played Oregon State, Washington. We did all that stuff back then. Man, we was all over the place. We even went to Orlando and stayed down there like 10 days.
And those days aren't that far removed. I know it's been a while, but I mean, for you, and it's like me. My time at Valley, I still remember rolling down Fannie Lou, with rims and beating out the trunk, and I mean, it was we enjoyed our time, man.
Yeah, and you know, back then we was all pushing each other. See, one thing what we failed to realize back then, our athletes were close, but our coaching staffs were very close. We made a lot of deals, and I know I don't want to say it like this. I want to use the word. We did a lot of transactions in front of the old gym here. Let's put it like that in terms of budget. In other words, if football was through recruiting for the year and basketball needed to go recruiting, hey, you go to money. I can't do nothing else with it. You know, it's nothing I could do. So we transitioned a lot. Back then, the basketball team, for whatever reason, I don't know how this got started. They bought the catcher's gear. We knew to have like 2 or 3 sets of catcher's gear. They would buy the catcher's gear. And those are the things that we would do. We would sit out in front, make the transition. If at that time we was with Russell because we had so much gear. So if somebody said, hey, I can't use the rest of my promo money, you know, here goes some more money if you need to get your girls some more socks or get some visors or whatever. That's the stuff that we did. The transition was made in front. When they got to the athletic director, I don't think Don Ray had to say at that time, hey, sign the name, we keep going. But that's how we went recruiting. That's how we traveled when money got low. We just pretty much transitioned from one group to the next, and we just made it work. I remember I think it was 20.
You in the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame?
No, can you believe that? I might.
I thought they were telling me the truth. I'm like, nah, you know, man, he from Pascagoula. I think they holding Florida State against you, brother. Because
you got guys coming that didn't go, that wasn't born here.
That's true.
2 years in college, that's in there. But listen to this.
You know what?
Got all-state numbers. 2-time all-state ball player.
High school state champion.
High school state champion.
Baseball. Yeah.
You name it. And listen to this. Cousins of Walter Payton. I mean, what else do you want?
Man, look, I'm gonna have to get on the folks in Jackson. We're gonna have a serious talk. Not to mention, look, you talking about just playing accolades. Man, you going on what? You're number 6 coaching in the state. One
of the things I really, even coaching, and you said it, Akron, when I was at Akron, Louisville, even Florida State, I recruited hard my state.
No doubt.
Them to have the same opportunities that I had and be able to take it back and make us, I say us, because I'm a part of Mississippi. I'm Gula. We don't even say Pascagoula. I'm Gula.
No doubt.
The Fula from Gula, Coach Bowden. The Fula from Gula. That's what you need to know.
Look, I'm gonna leave that alone because you stole one from me at Louisville. I coached him, and you was able to still get him, and it ended up being good for him. So I ain't gonna hold that against you. We'll transition to one of our own. I call him the Godfather. Others call him PayDirt. There's a huge debate on, you know, folks that are in the know on who was the best to ever come through our institution. And I thank him for his time. I know he down there in Florida kicking it as always. Mr. Parnell Dickinson. PayDirt Dickinson. I call him the Godfather. Parnell, where you at, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you? Appreciate you, man.
Man, what is all of that on that wall back there, man? Can I look? I'm gonna have to buy me something to put on my wall so it can look like yours. I'm just gonna have to start doing a show in a museum or something, man. That is beautiful, brother.
Well, hey, what can I say? What can I say?
You've been blessed. And look,
a lot of great people, man, is deserving of all of this that you see up on that wall. I didn't do any of this by myself. I had a lot of helps, and I appreciate all of my teammates throughout the years because, you know, none of that stuff would be up there if it had not been for them, some of them.
Man, look, people don't know that you're an Alabama boy, but I say you're Mississippi through and through. And I know you love the V in the Valley because it helped you be who you are. Am I right on that?
Exactly. You're definitely right. I am who I am because of Mississippi Valley. My wife is from Mississippi Valley. My son was there in Mississippi Valley, was born there. So, hey, I can't give up Alabama as my hometown.
No doubt.
But I got 2 places. I got Alabama and Mississippi.
And that's a blessing to have, man. Look, give me the rundown on how you got the nickname PayDirt.
Well, before I get into that, let me say this. I want to thank you, man, for the great work that you're doing at the Valley. We appreciate you, and you continue to do what you're doing. You're doing some great things, and it's very well needed. And
appreciate that.
I appreciate that, and I want you to hear me say that. But
I appreciate that.
Yeah, the PayDirt thing, that happened to come from one of my teammates who is still a great friend of mine now. We were practicing one day and 7-on-7, we were scoring a lot of points, and he mentioned PayDirt. Man, he just PayDirt again. And it kind of stayed with me. And then when I got drafted to Tampa and came to Tampa, one of the sports writers named Tom McEwen picked it up, and he blew it up. And here we are 40-something years later, and that's
still PayDirt.
Still PayDirt.
Hey, that's what happened when you touch that soil. They say, according to Webster, I'm paraphrasing here, but when you touch that soil is profitable. So that means that you enlightened the end zone a whole lot.
Yes.
Congratulations, man. I know you doing your work with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Congratulations on another Super Bowl, man. And I know y'all sporting that ring, man. Tell us a little bit about what you're currently doing now for our Valley alums, so they can kind of keep up with you a little bit.
Well, this is my 27th year. I'm an inspector for the NFL, which has to do with licensed apparel and uniforms and and stuff like that. There are certain codes that guys have to abide by when they're entering the playing field and entering the arena where the cameras are on them and things like that. So we kind of monitor that kind of stuff. It's pretty good little keep you in the game, keep you in a position where you can develop some real good relationships. So I've been around the game for a long time, and I appreciate being around it for a long time too.
And one thing that you're able to show that I think is just amazing is the longevity. Everybody playing days in at some point, and for some, like yourself, people always say that it was premature. However, the ability to reinvent yourself and be around the game, like you said, it gives a lot of people inspiration and hope, because there are other things besides being a person that puts the helmet on and play on Sunday. It's another multitude. And so there's people that's at the university right now that can be inspired by that. You touched on something earlier in the conversation. You said that your wife is from Valley. And you had your son at Valley. So what does Valley mean to you in the heart?
Well, Valley means a whole lot to me, man, because, when I left home, my father handed me off to Coach Weathersby, who was my coach at Valley. I was 18 years old, and I came to Valley and met who's my wife now, my girlfriend. Our son, our oldest boy, was born while I was at Valley. We both got our degrees from Valley. My master's come from Valley. Valley just did so much, for me in my life, and I was so fortunate to have coaches that they were about making sure that whatever you left home with and the environment that you were with your parents, that they carried on, because back then they were building men and football players. It wasn't just, we weren't just taught plays. We were taught, the facts of life. And so that's kind of what I really, really appreciate about that whole environment at Mississippi Valley. The entire environment was very, very conducive for me being where I am today. And that's why, if you scratch me, you may see green instead of red. So that's just kind of, and my wife is the same way. We do.
But for the most part, man, You know, my goal is just to see the school. I want to leave the school better off than I found it.
Yeah.
So I just want to do my part.
Man, look, thank you guys again. Thank you for your time. Much love to each of you. We'll circle back in the future and continue to support. Spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. Thank y'all again.
Hey, y'all know y'all hit me anytime. Y'all know that.
Gotcha. All right, man. You're going to go get that honey-do list. And I heard you
already
got doors opening around there. Going to make it happen, Calvin.
Actually, my son came home Saturday.
Oh, good, man. You know we praying, man. You know we've been praying hard.
Yeah, yesterday was his birthday, so we had a
happy birthday.
I sure will.
Well, thank y'all again, fellas. Much love.
All right.
Much love. All right. Well, there you have it. Two of our very own, Chief Xavier Redmond, Ashley Ambrose, second round pick, as Chief said, end of the first, top of the second, right there from Valley, and was able to do it at the pro level for 13 years. So the excuses aren't there. There's enough ways to be exposed now. And so thank you guys for viewing. At this point, I want y'all to tune into our website, www.mvsuvclub.com. Check out the ways to contribute. You know, if you got a certain sport that you want to be a part of, contribute that way. Check us out, www.mvsuvclub.com. We're going to thank our partners once again. Before we close the show, Visit Jackson, GNC Family Mangino stores, the Capital City Automotive, the MVSU NAA, Muskelly Furniture, Capital City Beverages, and Vogue Home Furnishing. Until next week, we'll see you. Tune in every Friday at noon. You're going to get some good content. Thank you for joining us.